Thank you. I want to move down here to this young man right here who is a great example of someone that, whoop, I'm going to start feeding back. Anybody know who this is? This is Scott McNurlin. He's our former Goodhue County Sheriff for many, many years. And he retired and decided to play drums. He played drums 35 years ago and decided that he wanted to get going again. And he came to us, and he's in several bands right now. And I wanted to include Scott in this because he's a great example of, we have many, many adult students too that are doing the same thing, you know, that are deciding that they want to start playing, you know, they're retiring, they've got the guitar in the back of the closet, you know, and it's time to get it out and go again. So, Scott is a great example of someone that's doing that and doing great things with it. So tell us a little bit about what you're up to these days, Scott.
Well, as Mike said, I'm retired, so I have a lot of time, and one of the things I decided to do when I retired was invest back into music. I played a lot of music as a young man in my teens and into my 20s, but my career did not allow me to do that. I had weekends, holidays, and evenings were all taken by my job. So as I got older and I started looking towards the horizon, those of you who are my age and looking at retirement or are retired know that you have to occupy yourself with something productive. And I couldn't think of anything really more productive and more interesting than getting back into music. And mine kind of came, I met Mike when the Universal Music Center first opened at a Rotary meeting. And back then I thought, what an opportunity for this community to have a resource like this. Mostly you see this in major metropolitan areas. You don't see this in a rural community, at least to the level that this center can provide. These are world-class musicians that are offering local people the opportunity to reinvest in a music career, which is where I came in. I was 50 some years old at the time I contacted Mike because my church, on our praise and worship team, our drummer was a teenage man and he was going to college, and so they were looking for a drummer. I hadn't drummed for 35 years, and then I'll tell you, it's not like riding a bike. And I called Mike in a panic, honestly, and said, I'm in a pinch here. I told this praise and worship team leader that I would drum, and he was gracious enough to say, come in and we'll get you started. And he worked with me and gave me the confidence to show me that I wasn't too old to reinvest in this career, that I can still learn things. And here I am at 60 years of age, still taking lessons. Jay's back there. I just started lessons with him not too long ago. I've taken bass guitar lessons through UMC and learned to play the bass proficiently enough to play in church in 3 months. And I took guitar lessons from Mark Warple. Mark's in here as well. And everyone knows that he's a phenom. And I've learned things from these musicians, not only about the instrument itself, but about the business of music that I could never get anywhere else. Even in my associations now with other musicians, I play in 3 different bands, and I'm interacting in the industry all the time. I have not learned as much from all those interactions that I have from these individuals, who have not only taken their time to show me what to do on the instrument, but to explain to me the nature of how to audition. What to do when you're in certain situations and certain gigs and things of that nature. You can't get that just anywhere, but you can get that here. This is, like I said earlier, a phenomenal resource for this area.
Thank you, Scott. Big round of applause for Scott McNurlin. Thank you so much.